Yeah, let's go. You know us, we know you. From soul food to Whole Foods, from Crenshaw to Nobu. It's old school do's and don't do's in the spot. I wrote the recipe down, wrist deep in the pot. Yeah, puff it and pass it. Chill Pinot Grigio in the glass. Cheese and crackers, pair up is classic. Learn from the masters, you just gotta listen. The room too hot, then move from out the kitchen. A new spot, ain't no food court. Age to prime, homie, results take time. Life is too short for bad eating, for bad tippers, for bad service, and bad liquor. I need it all fresh. Follow directions, I explain it on the back. A little bit of this, tablespoon of that, yeah. Just watch the mix, I done made this here from scratch. It ain't about where you from, they don't love you where you at. Think about it. Yeah. Food for thought, what they talking about? K&E, that's the boss, what you talking about? Yeah. Lamert Park, eating good, what we talking about? Yeah, a lot to talk about.
Well, it is that time when you hear that theme music. It is another episode of Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. She's the Karen, I'm the Ernest, and it is
Saturday
Women's History Month. No, well, I used to say that, but now I can no longer say that it is Saturday night we feel all right because we have switched to the digital format.
I feel like we're in detention because you're way over there and I'm way over here.
I know, yeah. I mean, we're trying something a little distant, and what's weird about it is you took a shower, I took a shower,
I showered for you and our guest today. Otherwise, you should have seen me yesterday. I didn't leave the house, so.
Okay. Well, I mean,
saving water. What's the problem?
Right, it's a conservation thing. I'm here for it. Food for Thought, Karen and Ernest, and K-Lou. There are a lot of changes happening in the dining scene and the social scene here in LA, and let's jump into it. The main thing that I want to start with is, so we spoke about this last August or July.
Yeah.
Kohl's in downtown LA. We got duped. Like, we actually stood in line. What is the world coming to?
You never stand in line.
I was like, oh yeah, we can. But so Kohl's in downtown LA, it was announced in August that they are going to be closing.
Yeah.
And because of the huge outpouring of support from the neighborhood, they decided to stay open through the fall and through the holiday season. Mm-hmm. But it looks like the end is actually coming to be a thing. On March 29th is supposed to be the last day of Kohl's. And Kohl's is, for those of you watching who are not hip to what Kohl's is, Kohl's is a French dip place here in Los Angeles. It's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, restaurant in Los Angeles. And they're kind of claim to...
Excuse me, I can't remember if it's Philippe's or Kohl's that's the oldest.
Yeah, well, and I was going to say, so both Kohl's and Philippe's, their claim to fame is that they do the French dip, that they are the originator of the French dip, which is the pastrami or roast beef sandwich in the au jus, and you dip it and you're like, this is good. So they have had a long-standing battle, but Kohl's has been one of the neighborhood jewels for Los Angeles, and it's been 100 and something years, and they are finally closing. And I say finally because, as Karen said, we got duped. They were supposed to close in July, and we went and stood in line, and then as we were in line, we got a text from, let me be clear. We didn't get a text from Mona Holmes, but we saw that they had been extended, and we're like, after we waited in line an hour and a half.
We were like, should we leave and come back? It was like, absolutely not.
And so that's, so said Moses, who is of Seven Grand and Las Perlas.
Hospitality.
Yep, 213.
Used to be Casey's.
Yeah, whoa, you going way back with it.
That used to be my jam. Tony's Saloon.
Yeah, and so he is the proprietor, and he is actually walking away, and he has said that the new owners of Kohl's is probably going to keep the name, and they're probably going to do a little bit of a refresh.
Interesting.
But so Kohl's
so
in
new ownership.
New
I
ownership.
didn't know that part.
And it appears that it's going to be a continuation of Kohl's. But so Kohl's is, as Jay-Z would say, grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah, that place was near and dear to my heart. They were one of the only restaurants, if not the only restaurants, that their drinks on tap were like spirit forward. Like
Yeah.
that old fashioned on tap, it was like, ooh, okay,
Right.
get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that used to be my spot. And they also had not just beef and not just pastrami, they had turkey. And lamb.
Which you liked.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
So no, don't
Have a
apologize.
little moment.
I was like, do you need a moment? Because I can come back.
No, I'm good.
Another closing and changing in the dining scene here in LA, Pips on La Brea, which has been a staples of the community for 15 years. March 29th, they will be closing also. So
I think I have not spoken to him because we've known each other since we were kids. One of my high school mates used to date his brother. But I haven't spoken to him directly, but I feel like, and I'm not sure, that he's doing it on his own terms.
okay.
I think he may, like said, want to step away. I don't think it's like a forced thing or whatever.
Being
But
pushed out.
I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Derek, shout out to Derek of
Yep.
Pips on La Brea.
Yep.
I actually haven't been in a while, but it is a hangout that you go on a Sunday morning or a Saturday for brunch. It is mwah, chef's kiss.
I was there on Valentine's Day.
Ooh. Was it a date?
No. I mean, not like that. I haven't dated since 1952, so I don't know. No, it was not a date, but it was a love moment. Me and one of my gal pals went, and the music was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's always a nice environment there.
It's always a vibe.
Yeah.
And then Chef Keith Corbin of Alta Adams, in February, he has halted dine-in service. Now, I don't think that this is an end, and Chef has said that it is not an end, but he wants to reimagine the menu. So he said that he is temporarily shutting down, and he's going to rework the menu. He's going to, and we have spoken about the fact that Chef is doing some big things. He's on CBS's America's Culinary Cup. And so we don't think this is a closing, but it's just a reimagining and reworking of the menu. So I can't see what comes from Chef Keith Corbin.
He better not be opening a place in Paris and moving away.
Right.
He's so fancy. Yeah, but I don't know. In my spirit, I feel like he won this not a contest. What is it? I feel like he won this challenge. I feel like he won the show. I don't.
America's Culinary Cup? Oh, they haven't gotten that far.
I'm sure. I just feel it by spirit.
All right. Well, if
that
you like,
he's going to win.
You heard it here first.
And so the other place that's closing is Stuff I Eat in Inglewood.
In Inglewood, yeah,
So
you were
we have
telling
to
me
go.
about that.
We have to go because I've eaten their food, but I've never eaten there. So I would like to eat there if that's possible. But yeah, they close in April, so we need to get that on.
Yeah, we need to check that out.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is, we've spoken about this before, but the Savoy in Inglewood, which is a legendary event space that they closed in, I want to say July or August of last year. And the reason that I'm bringing this in particular up is that our guest this evening has something to do with the new Savoy. What's the name of the place? Fest.
Free event space, but it's not free.
It's not free.
It's for you to be free in it.
Right.
But it still requires
it's going to cost some money.
Yes.
Yeah, so the free event space is this old Savoy is now the free event space. And as I said, our guest this evening has something to do with that, so we'll talk with her about that. And you know, you are listening to, watching, vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
When we come forward, more savory sounds from the culinary world. You're listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. Delectable recipes, dining do's and don'ts, fascinating culinary insights, celebrity chefs, delicious discussions. You're inside Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
You are listening to, watching, vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. I'm really excited about our guest today.
You're looking at me. That's so funny. So, before we started, I already said that, well, you were gracious enough to let me introduce her. And basically, I said I know her better and she loves me more. And although she didn't contest it, it really is the truth.
Yeah, I'm relatively sure that is the.
So,
I saw how that moved, and I'm very
fine.
clear on it.
I know.
You can have me. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now
Because I
watch.
will have her.
After today, though, She all mine. The girl
Unclear.
is mine.
Unclear. Anyway, I'm really excited to have her on. It took a dance and a show to get her here because she claims to be shy and all the things. But she's been out here in these streets talking up their new project. They out here, she and her sisters are boring babies and all the things,
Yeah.
not human babies, but project babies, right?
Okay.
So let me see. Let me do my thing first. Bam, 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 bam. We have Lee in the house from 1010 Wine and Events and Fest.
Finally,
Fest.
we were finally able to get you here.
I know, it took a minute. But you didn't even give me any like, you didn't even contest it. You were like, when? I was like, ooh, evolving, evolution.
So, congrats. It's good to have you here today.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
absolutely.
Thanks for having
And
me.
let's make sure that we're saying it right. I call it Fest, and it is free event space. It costs money, but you're free to be free in the environment.
That's what it is. Yeah, and with the name, that's what we thought of is like whatever concept you're coming to do, you're free to do it. But then sometimes people are like, "Oh, it's a free event space."
You're like,
Exactly.
it
No,
may
no,
be
it's
not.
the name, but it's gonna cost you some ducats.
You're free to create, but you have to pay.
Exactly.
So before we came forward, we actually announced to our listeners that that the free event space is the old Savoy, and the Savoy, as we were telling people, is a heritage legacy location in Inglewood. And we've spoken to Leslie about this, but I'd love to find out your thoughts on why did you feel it was important to be able to have the old Savoy as the free event space?
The importance of it is because of Inglewood, just all the changes. We're born and raised Inglewood, so that's like home for us. And when it went up for sale, we were like, how is this going to go? So it was more so us having a vision and wanting to keep the community as much as we can. Yeah. And so we're like, okay, we have a vision for this place, and let's do it together. Because, at that time, I don't even think we knew that the Olympics were coming. We didn't know Super Bowl was coming again, or all the things. We knew that it was Rams House and, the Intuit Dome. So we're like, okay, this has some potential here. And we kind of saw through us building out 1010, just people coming in. And so to us, Savoy is a landmark. When you think of Inglewood, you think of the Savoy. So we're like, okay, how can we hold on to that? So we're like, yeah, let's do this. We're in a position to do it. So why not?
You could just tell everyone you guys are secretly taking over Inglewood. It's fine.
Step by step. It's a strategic plan.
We're not mad at that because you mentioned the Intuit Dome and you mentioned SoFi Stadium, and it is one of those things that, while I think it is quote unquote good for the neighborhood in that the redevelopment. One of my concerns has been making sure that the residents and the businesses are not excluded from the development. So it's an amazing thing that you guys had the foresight to be able to say, and even if you did or did not know about the Olympics and the Super Bowl and all of these things, to be able to have the foresight to say, hey, we want to keep this legacy location in our community and in our community. Like, that's a beautiful thing. So definitely want to shout you out for that. And I think that if done properly, you guys are primed between 1010 Wine and Events and the free event space that is not free. Once again, y'all gonna pay to go up in there. I think that
deposits,
it is,
everything.
yeah, all of that. I think that it is great that you guys are properly primed to be able to take advantage of all of those things. And so I think that one of the programming that we do is our culinary conversations, which your sister Leslie was part of the first one and the inaugural one that we did. So I think that we are going to have one of those events at either 1010 Wine and Events or Free Event Space. and to make sure that we can do what we can do to get you into the mix of the programming that is happening around those times. So
That's amazing.
The other thing is, and I don't even know if I've told Ernest this. Okay, first of all, the last few times I've been to 1010, it just coincidentally has been on a Thursday. It is popping on Thursdays. Not that it's not popping the other days, because I'm sure you guys are doing great brunch and all the things, but on Thursdays, it's like people are losing their minds. People are dancing. The music is turned up. Everybody's turned up. I'm just like, whoa, like it's crazy. And to Ernest's point, the other thing is when you say they're prime, like I've talked to Leslie, I've talked to you, like when events happen in Inglewood, you guys are either the destination before or after, and for some, before and after, right? People come and eat, and then they go play, and then they come back and they drink, So speak to some of that just in terms of how now 1010 is in its own right becoming a legacy destination.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Right? Absolutely. I think with the flow of the concerts, the flow of events and things like that, it's a lot of people that aren't from Inglewood. And so what's happening is they're visiting this destination, right? So, LA, it's a lot of traffic. I think sometimes you can be boxed into your neighborhood. And so with the venue spaces of, Kia Forum, SoFi, Intuit, it's like, okay, we're going to Inglewood, where if you live in Sherman Oaks, if you live in even Culver City sometimes, if you live Santa Monica, wherever, then it's like, okay, you're not necessarily coming here day to day. So it might take a special event, a concert, a Rams game for you to come. And so what we're working on doing is curating that space to where, like you said, before the game, after the game, before the concert, after the concert, okay, this is a place I want to stop into because I've heard about it. It's in Inglewood. And how easier is it for me to carve out a little bit of time before the game, before the event, to stop here instead of just driving down here if you're from, like I said, Sherman Oaks or wherever. And so the thing is that that's what we're working on curating. We are a neighborhood space. Like the Cheers of Inglewood is what our regulars like to call us. And I love that. In addition to, we're able to expose our business through the events and concerts that are happening because it's like, oh, we're coming to Inglewood, so we're going to stop by here. Lady Gaga, never expected it. No, all her people from the concert came before and after. And it was like they showed up and I was like, oh, wow. And they're like, yeah, we have been seeing y'all. We have been. And it just made sense finally for them to come because it's like, we're going to go see Lady Gaga at the Kia Forum. Right. So we're going to stop here first or we're going to stop here after and make it a part of their destination. Right. And so as much as we don't want it to be non-community, it's also curating how can you do both.
Well, you're expanding your community. Yeah. And I think it's one of those things where when you've been named the best bar by
the number one wine bar in the U.S. based on USA Today.
Amen. Look at that. Also, if Lady Gaga pulls up, I'm be way more out of my seat. Like, I'm not going to casually be like, yeah, so, yeah, no. Yo, we went to go see Gaga.
Gaga's amazing balls.
Just Dance is one of my favorite songs.
She's amazing. OMG.
She does her thing.
Yeah. One time I went to see Ernest do his beautiful gig in Love and Laughter in Vegas, and he was so gracious. He invited me to
was there?
Hold, please.
Oh, okay. What happened?
No, then the second night, because I came on a Friday.
Right.
Then the second night, you were like, come back. Everybody loves you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I'll have a drink with you. I actually got tickets to see Gaga. Went by myself and was just like.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Well, speaking of amazing, though, one thing that I really, really, really love, and we've spoken, and so let's do the backstory. 1010 Wine and Events is a first of all, once again, we'll say it, the number one wine bar in the U.S. based on USA Today. Bam, 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 bam.
There it is.
So
That's nice.
we've spoken with your sister, who is your partner in business, about how 1010 Wine and Events ended up happening. I'd love to be able to hear your version of that story. Like, what are your thoughts? And like, tell us about the origin of 1010 Wine and Events.
Yeah, that's I'm curious to see what she said, but I didn't listen to her side of the story. So essentially, I was a lawyer. I'm still am. I'm still an attorney. I'm an attorney. I was practicing law. I was doing criminal and family law. And I was like, I don't think this is a space for me. So I started to, I guess, go on a journey to figure out what it is that I wanted to do. And so it landed on wine. And Leslie and I built a lot of friendships, relationships, even our relationships over just dining, wine, all the things. And I was like, I really like this space. But with that being said, when you go to law school for 3 years, pass the bar, and spend tons of money, it's not really, it's kind of frowned upon to make a pivot because it's like, okay, like, this is your career. And it's a great career. Like, shout out to all the attorneys out there. But I was like, this really isn't my vibe. So I started to search what it is that I wanted to do. So, of course, when you're on that journey, when you're thinking about those things, you talk to the people that are closest to you. And so Leslie, closest best friend, sister. And I was like, I'm not feeling this attorney thing. I'm thinking about pivoting. I want to open up a wine bar. She said, that's crazy. Leslie at the time was doing events, massive events, amazing. One of the best wedding planners I know. I mean, she planned my first marriage. That's a different podcast. That's a whole we could do anyway. So, I mean, tried and true. So she's great. And so I said, okay. She's looking for an event space. I'm looking for a restaurant to do a wine bar. She said, why don't we do it together? Sure. Why not? And so it made sense. And so we just started looking for spaces that could curate both. My vision when I thought of a wine bar was very much so small, cheese and charcuterie, wine, flights, all the things. And even the name, I was like, the name should be Flights. We want to be in Inglewood. Flights are coming in. We're going to do like the idea of it was just to expose people to wine. And so when Leslie was like, let's do it together, I was like, okay. So that's really like the birth of 1010 Wine. So the wine is my part. The events is her part. And when people ask me like, y'all doing this event? I'm like, I guess so. I stay in my lane. She stays in hers. That's how we're able to work very well together. We trust each other. And so that's the origin of 1010. And it's nothing as I ever imagined, as ever expected. To be sitting here talking about it is crazy, but that's how it started.
It's interesting. I never heard that version of the story. I like your version so much, or your truth so much. But the two things that resonate with me is, one, I remember that Leslie would say that you guys did dine a lot and drink wine a lot and all the things, and you didn't want to have to travel to do so. So it's like, we're from here. It's in our backyard. Let's do it here. That's amazing. And the other thing I appreciate is that you're an attorney, and yes, you recognize that wasn't your passion, but now I would hope or think that you look over all the paperwork. So you bring that extra, even if you were to hire someone, you still know the law. Right. So it gives you an advantage. So you're still utilizing your skills, which is super cool.
When we come forward, we're going to continue talking with Lee of 1010 Wine and Events. You are listening to, watching, vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
When we come forward, more savory sounds from the culinary world. You're listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. Delectable recipes, dining do's and don'ts, fascinating culinary insights, celebrity chefs, delicious discussions. You're inside Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
You are listening to, watching, vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. Karen, you're still here. Like, I mean, so for those of you watching,
I do have a call at noon. But dang,
you may see that Karen and I are a little bit further apart than we normally are, and so I feel like a long
weird.
distance. So
I love the way you did this though. Like you turned in. I should have done that on the segment, which is you and me. It's fine though. We'll adjust.
We'll adjust. And hey, one of the beauties. One of the beauties of our show.
Move yourself when you edit closer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
In the edit.
One of the beauties. So our guest this evening is Lee of 1010 Wine and Events.
Yes.
And before we came forward, we were talking about pivoting. We were talking about kind of being able to make those changes. And we're going to jump back into this because, like I said, we've had your sister on, who is your business partner in 1010 Wine and Events. But this is our first time being able to speak with you about what the vibe is at 1010 Wine and Events. But before we jump into that, why don't you tell people how they can find you? How can they get you, and whether you personally or 1010 Wine and Events?
So we're working on getting into our content creator back. Okay. So we're on YouTube, 1010 Wine and Events, Instagram, 1010 Wine and Events, Facebook, 1010 Wine and Events, and it's the number 1010. Because sometimes people type in 1010. I'm like, no.
And is the and an ampersand, or is it A-N-D?
A&D, yes, indeed. So 1010.
And what's the 1010 stand for?
The address. So you know where we at, 1010 North La Brea. Yeah, so we're on all socials, TikTok, Instagram. We do content differently for all platforms. Sometimes we recycle, like some of the things we'll post on all platforms, but we try to do it different. So YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the things, and then we're on 1010 North La Brea Avenue in Inglewood, California.
You guys have been doing some great reels amongst yourselves, like you and Leslie, you Leslie, Leah. It's like it's been fun to watch. So I can see like there's been
they've been pulling me out my shell. Like you said,
I
am.
I was like, you're prime. Yeah, that's why I was like, you're prime for the podcast.
I am not really one that likes to be face fronting sometimes, but you know what?
Well, you bring up a great point, which is, and this is about the pivot. We were talking about pivoting before we came forward. We were talking about pivoting now in terms of pivoting out of your comfort zone. And there has been another pivot that you guys at 1010 Wine and Events have done recently. You recently started your own wine line. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's the biggest pivot for sure. I think for biggest pivot for now is really the opportunity presented itself. We have been thinking about it for a while. Mm-hmm. We have been in contact with people trying to figure it out, and then boom. Honestly, it's about timing. Like God just does timing the way it's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. And how it worked, we're very pleased with who we were able to partner with. Paso Robles, the vineyard is amazing, the team is amazing, the winemaker is amazing. So we're just able to really be able to communicate what it is that we want. I don't know if they think that we're amazing because we are demanding, but in a good way, in a good way. Just because we've been open for almost 5 years. So we've been listening to our clientele about what it is that they want, what is it that they like. And so with us creating a wine, we wanted to basically listen to as much as you can listen to and then create that. So they have been very gracious with us. And the thing is like we were nervous because you drop your own wine. It's like it's an expectation. And I believe they exceeded it, and we're very excited to expand it, and just the feedback has been amazing. It really has been, and to have people be like, oh, I love your wine, it's still like a little bit of like, are you sure? But it is a good product. We taste it, and we were like, yeah. And we do it with my sisters. And we also partner with the Wright sisters, who are in the event space in a different realm than we are. They do like big events and things like that. So we thought like this is a great addition, and it just all made sense.
Do you know the Wright sisters?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, of course you do.
I mean,
His company
They're
is called.
dope.
He knows everyone.
His company
Yeah,
is called.
so
He
that's
knows
like
everyone.
it's
This
Jones and Wright,
I
you
love
know,
it.
and it's like we're doing it the right way.
So one thing that we have discussed with Leslie, your sister and business partner, is that wine can be intimidating. And she has spoken with us about the fact that, you know, it's that your philosophy at 1010 Wine and Events is not to kind of shame people, but meet people where they are, and to be able to say, hey, if you like this, then you might like this, and to be able to expand that. And my story is you were pivotal in, not pivotal, I mean, so I became hip to Dwayne Wade's wine brand because of you, and not 1010 Wine and Events, because of you. You know, you told me about the rosé, and you were like, I told you I'm usually a Cabernet person, and you were like, well, you know, this is Dwayne Wade's line, and so on and so forth. My question for you is, assuming that Leslie's point about wine being intimidating is a hashtag fact, and you guys starting your own wine line, how do you educate consumers about wine in general, and also your wine line in particular?
It's just being fun. I mean, that's why I wear my hat backwards all the time. It's like I don't want it to be any. Actually, I think I look good this way. That's why.
Go ahead, pop your collar. Your collar.
Yes, you do, girl.
But also it's just because it's not intimidating. I mean, it can be, but it shouldn't be. And it can be because it's been something around for so long, and it's something that Black people, minorities haven't been included in. So it's intimidating sometimes because it's just like, oh man, I haven't done this before. And so you just have to kind of rip off the Band-Aid. And so our goal is to, yes, we're going to be educated in wine. If, you ask me a question, hopefully I can answer it with the best of the best. But also, I'm not doing that when I'm on the floor. I'm not doing that when people are asking about our wine. I'm doing it to be relatable, because when I first walked into a restaurant and had no idea how to read a wine menu or had no idea how to order a bottle, if a server came over to me and made me feel like, so you don't know what you're talking about, so you can't order this, then you kind of shrink. And now you're missing out on the experience. And grateful to all the people that allowed us to be us while we were exploring. The type of wine that I've drank, every type of wine, I think, just on exploring, you know what I mean? And so with our brand, with 1010 Wines, the actual wine is to be inclusive of everything. So we the balance is, we want you to have a little fruit. We want you to have a little bit of, not too sweet, just a little bit of but we also want it to be taken as a serious wine. Like, we're not playing any games. So to be able to do that is amazing.
But, you're in my head because I was thinking, like, you guys are so humble that you are relatable. So it's like I'm talking to my gal pal, I'm talking to my friend, I'm talking to my cousin in terms of how you guys, relate to your audience or allow them to feel comfortable. So shoulders down. Oh, I could taste things. Oh, you can guide me. I mean, I think it's a big deal, and that's what makes you guys so special. I see what Ernest did there. He's right. You are in the running to be the favorite. You were like, it was you. It was because of you, not 1010 because of you.
No, I mean, it's hashtag facts.
I understand.
Well, you are listening to, watching, vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
When we come forward, more savory sounds from the culinary world. You're listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. Delectable recipes. Dining do's and don'ts. Fascinating culinary insights.
You are listening to, watching, vibing out to
You're
Food for
inside
Thought with
Food
Karen
for
and
Thought
Ernest.
with
Hey,
Karen
K.
and
Lou, how you
Ernest.
doing?
I'm the Karen.
You are the Karen, and I'm the Ernest. You know, that hasn't changed in case anybody was wondering.
One day
Like,
we'll do a little Freaky Friday. And we'll
I was gonna.
switch. Yeah.
I wonder what it would be like to see the world through your eyes. Huh.
Ditto.
It's probably like, next level stuff that I'm not ready for. Our guest this evening is Lee of 1010 Wine and Events
And Fest.
the free event space, which is not free. You are free to be free, but it is not free. So I want to make sure to take a second to tell Lee told you where you could find her, and I want to take a second to tell you where you can find us. Our website is live, and it is www.foodforthoughtwithkande.com. I know it sounds like a lot, but it is what it is. Our YouTube is where these shows end up living. You can find us at Food for Thought with K and E on YouTube. If you're one of the, our Instagram is Food for Thought with K and E. It's kind of across the board. If you want to shoot us an email, or if you're one of those people that wants to get a little bit more in-depth information about anything that we've talked about, you can find us at foodforthought.com.
And I just want to shout out my partner because he has been amazing. When you start a business, you wear, the founders, the proprietors wear a number of hats. And this dude has been the most amazing creative director and social media VP. Like, I can't even make you a manager.
I love that.
So I just want to shout him out publicly.
Are you
and
talking
say
about
that.
me or some other business partner? 'Cause
The Ernest.
okay.
The Ernest
You
in
got-
K&E.
You got
The
like
Ernest.
you got like 80 businesses. You are out
I
here
do
hustling.
not have 80.
81.
Well, 81, right. She's like, don't downplay it.
Talk about the pivot.
So speaking of the pivot, we are talking with Lee of 1010 Wine and Events, and one of the things that we are talking about is that you have pivoted from being a lawyer to opening a wine and event space to having your own wine. Now, in those pivots, do we have any idea of the number of varietals that 1010 Wine and 1010 Wines has? I've had the Cabernet, but is there more?
Yeah, so we have the Cabernet right now. We are going to, I guess, hear it first. We're going to expand. We have our eye on Sauvignon Blanc. We're still going through the tasting of it, but pretty sure that's where we're going to go to next. I love champagne, so hopefully, yeah, that would be the next. But we're going to go to white, bubbles, rosé, all the things. Like, we're taking this seriously. We really want to be in the wine space and be able to taste everything.
So, as a wine novice, and once again, I'm giving you all the props for expanding broadening my horizons. One of my questions that I like to talk to people about the business of what they're doing, and so talk to me about the distribution of your wine, and talk to me about how you're going to market and promote it so that people are aware of what you're doing.
So first, we're doing it at 1010 only, exclusively. So pull up to 1010 to make it happen and try it. From there, and it's about scaling. I think sometimes you can say, I'm going to buy 1,500 cases or whatever, and that's great. But sometimes you have to scale as a small business. So our goal is like, let's do a taste test at 1010 to see how it's received. Because if people didn't like it, then I'm stuck with all these cases, and then, damn, and then I'm going to be on the street.
slanging the bottles of wine on the 1010 wine.
And I don't want to do that.
Right.
Leslie don't want to do that.
Right.
You know, the Wright sisters don't want to do that.
Right.
And so we just started off small. So now it's exclusively at 1010. And then as we grow, then we're going to start distribution to other places. Okay. So other restaurants and things like that. And we have a lot of people, thank God, that are interested, want to do it, And once we do, then it's like, okay, let's do it. We also don't want to be the brand that's like, oh, their wine is there today, but it's not there tomorrow. Right. We have to be able to service our clientele, and that's important. So it's baby steps. You know, I'm here for it. But yeah, so right now exclusively at 1010, but we're definitely going to expand to where you can sit down at a restaurant and look at the wine menu and be like, oh yeah, I want 1010 wine. And then at that point, I'm going to every restaurant that has it, and I'm going to buy a bottle.
There you go. There you go.
And that's Jones and Wright.
Jones and Wright.
Yeah, that is the official name of the wine, Jones and...
1010 Wines by Jones and Wright.
Well, when we come forward, it is time for our hot dishes, which are our sometimes unpopular opinions, but I told you where you could find us, and Lee told you where you could find her. You are listening to, watching, vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
When we come forward, more savory sounds from the culinary world. You're listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
You are listening to, watching, vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. So our guest this evening, or our guest today, has been Lee of 1010 Wine and Events. Beep, beep. No beer.
Bim, 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 bim.
That's why I did my hands like, okay, I was waiting for it.
You know. So one of the things about our shows, Karen has said, "You're not allowed." This is my thing. I'm the bam, bam, bam. I'm the air horns. So, so Lee has been speaking with us about the evolution of 1010 Wine and Events. And that evolution also leads to 1010 Wine. It's led to the free event space. It's led to all of those things. Yep. It is the time of the show where we do our hot dishes. And our hot dishes are sometimes unpopular opinions, but we said what we said, so you know where to find us. Kaylu, you want to go first?
Yeah, I need all the restaurants that serve beef, steak, beef, to stop serving it tough. I need some tenderness. You gotta bang that meat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that does sound right.
That's what she said.
That's a T-shirt and a hat, my friends.
Yeah.
Hashtag bang that meat.
Bang that meat.
Tenderize, marinate, all the things.
Have you been running into places that are tending to overcook their meat?
Don't even do that because we were someplace the other day and the beef was tough.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. But the salmon was
salmon. I'll take a salmon.
So, Lee, do you have a hot dish?
Yeah. I'm on the floor a lot at 1010 and serving all the things. And unpopular opinion, but please be ready to order. I hate when people are like, especially when I introduce myself, say you have questions for the menu, and they're like, yeah, I'm ready to order. And then they're like, and it's just because I want to be attentive to every guest. So I'm not trying to rush you on ordering. I'm not. But it's like, if you're not ready, then let me come back. So then, and I'll answer all your questions. Yeah. I'm not going to rush you. Yeah. I'm going to answer all your questions. Yeah. I want you to get what you want. But when you're like, yeah, I'm ready to order, and you're like, so do you want, or are we going to do? And then I'm standing there for 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, my God. I have like an internal clock. Oh, my gosh. That's like, I need to go to this table. Not rushing people. No, I want y'all to enjoy. Yeah. But that's like,
I have that same thing as if a guest does that's dining with me, I'm just like, can you give us some minutes, please? Gosh.
And I'm going to come back. If you say come back in 2 minutes, I'm going to set my alarm and I'm going to come back in 2 minutes.
At least this way, all of the guests that are at your space are getting the attention they need. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yours, my friend?
Well, my hot dish is, and I've spoken about how I feel that the tipping culture has kind of gotten out of control. It is one of those things that, from a consumer standpoint, I think that tips are based on service, and if you give me bad service, you're going to not get as much of a tip. But I was reading an article recently, and there was a guy that has an unpopular opinion that I kind of agree with. He said whether I order a $70 ribeye or I order a $10 hamburger, the service is the same. So maybe we need to do a flat rate of kind of a tip of $5, $10, whatever that number looks like or sounds like to you, and we do a flat fee in terms of what the tip is, because the level of service is not changing based on the cost of what I order. And I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. So I think that it is something to review. I also think that, staying on this, if I come into an establishment and I order my drink at a kiosk, or if I'm paying for there isn't going to be a tip.
Yeah, this is where we differ.
Absolutely. So
if you're serving me and you're greeting me and you got to pour the drink, make the drink, and I know that small businesses are suffering, I'm going to tip. Now, if you're nasty and you hand me my drink, that's a different thing. But that's where you and I differ. When you get something to go, you feel like you shouldn't have to tip.
Yep, there's that part. So
that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother
Can
episode.
I be invited to this one?
So Lee, before we dip out, is there anything in particular that's happening at 1010 Wine and Events that we want to tell everybody about?
Yeah, so traditionally we've been open only Wednesday through Sunday. For Wednesday through Saturday is dinner time. Sunday is our brunch. But now it's got the little urge to just expand. So now we're opening Tuesday for dinner, but that's our Taco Tuesday. So it's tacos and appetizers on Tuesdays. And then we expanded to lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 3. So we're doing our lunch menu, which I'm very excited about because we got a new chef and she's doing her thing. And so the lunch menu is like completely hers, and she did an amazing job with it.
So one of the great things about having Lee here today is we got all the juice. We found out that 1010 Wines is going to be expanding. We got to find out that they are doing lunch. We got to find out how 1010 Wine and Events ended up happening. And we also found out that if we catch a case, that Lee can be our attorney. So not only can it be your chairs of Inglewood.
Tuesday Taco Tuesday, because they weren't open on Tuesdays before. So awesome sauce. I love it.
Lee, it's been great to have you here.
Thank you for doing this. You are
honestly,
evolving and just doing all the stuff. You're funny. You're smart. You're accomplished. I love you so much, and that's my plug to still stay the favorite.
Thank you. I'm a Cancer, so I'm a little bit in my shell.
But when you come out, you come out.
Right. So
don't have drinks with this lady. She's a good time.
I am
or
a
better
great
yet,
time.
do have drinks with this lady.
I am a great time.
We'll
I am
have
a
to
great
drink with
time.
her one evening,
Yes,
off campus.
So I'm often, Karen and I say this all the time, we are amazed at how quickly time goes by.
Especially when we're having a good time.
But it is that time of the show where we just say, bye!
Thank y'all.